I would say I've seen like a 5 times increase in my business.
Wow, this is so good. This is so good.
Right. And it's basically, I feel like it's only starting to grow.
Hi, Cyril. I'm so excited that you're here with us today. So, I wanted
Hi.
to ask you a few questions about experience of working with me and how it has been for you. So, I think the first thing we would start with, was your life, or where you were in your life before you started working with me?
Well, I had experience obviously with being coached and everything before. And I, I told you in the past, I'd done some Mary Morrissey programs. I'd also done Bob Proctor and the year long. Now, I had great benefits from doing those programs, and I had great benefits from everybody I worked with. The one thing I never had was something that moved me from the stage I was, from almost succeeding to push me over. And when I started working with you, and I found a change in myself. And also, I don't know if you recall, I would have said to you some time back, I was speaking to a very successful businessman one day, and he'd known me for a while. And he said, I see a dramatic change in you, Cyril, how you view things and that. And he asked me what was I doing that was causing this? And I explained to him that I was working with yourself. And one of the first things he said to me was, you're obviously dealing with somebody who has made money and who is wealthy now. And I said, yes, that's correct. Well, he said, because they're the only people who can teach you. He said, because there's always something missing when you're dealing with somebody who's telling you what you should probably do, but hasn't done it themselves. And that is one of the keys that I've found working with you, that I know I'm working with somebody who's done it, what I want to do. And it's a great reassurance when you're dealing with somebody, they're walking their talk, is basically how I can say that best.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. And in terms of your business and your personal financial goals, like how this work has impacted?
Well, in relation to my business, I would say I started working with you, which is probably, I don't know accurately how many months it is. I'd say maybe 7, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
I would say I've seen like a 5 times increase in my business.
Wow, this is so good. This is so
right.
good.
And it's basically, I feel like it's only starting to grow.
Oh,
to be quite honest with you. But that's where it's genuinely at. Those are those are what I've seen. The bigger thing is also, but bigger than that for me is also my ability to handle the growth. You see, it's one thing. Growth I wanted it, but it scared me at the same time. Whereas growth doesn't scare me now. It's like I see this in. If you had to tell me at the start that I would see that in my business, I would have said, oh, yeah, that's great if that can happen. But I wouldn't have believed it could happen. But right now I can sit here and say, I've seen that growth in my business, but I know it's only starting.
Oh, my God.
And it's where I am mentally, which is far more important to me than anything. And that's for me is the big thing. Like that really is the big thing.
Yeah. And even like what we have seen is that your confidence has skyrocketed, and even the way you are in your negotiations, and then the knowing and the conviction you have now.
Well, I'd have to say on that, and I'm like, my confidence, like I'd have to go back to early things that increased my confidence. But I would feel now going into meetings and things like that, there is no part of that scares me. Where, don't get me wrong, when I started a business first, I was terrified in meetings. I was afraid of even saying my own name sometimes scared me. But not alone that, asking for things and dealing with things. And I could feel myself, I wasn't relaxed in the meeting. And a lot of the time I didn't even hear what was being said because I was so tense and nervous and, sweaty palms, and really, really was like, I was just a lamb when I was in the meeting, and it was easy putting one over me, and I'd come out of the meeting, I should have said this, should have said that. But that's a whole different experience now. I feel as relaxed in a meeting now as if I was talking to a friend, like we're talking right now. And the confidence you have within yourself, your abilities, and you never feel under pressure. And those are all things I've learned from working with you, without a shadow of a doubt.
I love this. So, if anybody who's on a fence, like, should they join or not? What would you say?
Well, a couple of things I would say. One of the most important things in life I was taught early on, if you want to do something in life, you got to get advice from people who have done what you want to do. Not people who've read a book on or something like that, but people who've done it. Now, I wasn't working with you very long till I realised you'd done it, because you can tell from the advice you're getting. And also, the other part of it is little things that come up along the way. I know that you've faced them yourself because you're able to deal with it very quick. And that's very important. That'd be the first thing. The second thing would be, I would have found different challenges that came my way, and it never fazed you in relation to, oh, this is what this is. You explain it back to me. When I run it through in my mind, I realize that's exactly what that was. But that's a reassurance. It's unbelievable reassurance. And the next thing I'd say is, if you want to be successful and you want it bad enough, I can assure you there's nothing to be guessing around or second guessing whether or not you should get involved. Absolutely. Absolutely. Plus, as well, I'm pretty sure with how you talk about your coaching, everything like that, that you are guaranteeing people the results. And I'm here to say, I can say for one person that yes, the result, I've had the results, but I'm only starting. So I can genuinely say to anybody, I would have no hesitation in joining the program.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
I love this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem at all. It's genuine. That's honestly, Anna, how it is. And what I'd also say, and anybody who's worried about the price, you'll get your money back. Don't be worried about that.
I love this. I love this. Thank you.
So absolutely. It's been a pleasure, working with you all the time. And I look forward to our continued success. But absolutely, everything I'm saying is true. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Going back to one thing I want to say, which is really important in everything. What Anam teaches and what Anam coaches is just without shadow of a doubt, what she says will work. But you do have to, there's things you're going to be told to do. You need to do those things. Now, this won't work if you don't do those things. Now, the one thing is, if you're getting involved, you decide, I am going to not question what she tells me to do it. And if you do it, watch the results. Just watch the results is all I can say. That's pretty much what I want to get to.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. One of the other things that I've learned working with Anne is the fact that life is a game and business is a game. But there's one thing for sure with Anne, she knows the rules of the game. And that's what an awful lot of coaches don't know.